Buongiorno! Or buonasera, depending on when you're watching this. Welcome back to Martinette's vlog. We've got Lyndon here today.
Hello.
Today's topic will be, if you're going to go to Italia, things that you should know before you go. First of all, just a little bit of background. We actually recorded this video a few weeks ago, but when I went to edit it, it was all messed up, so I have to do it again. We went to Italy back in April, and yeah, it was really fun. I'm not going to go on about where we went and all that, because it doesn't matter. If you want to know, you can ask us. But yeah, just the things that you should know, we've got a list here. So number one thing that you should know about Italy is the public restrooms are not free. Or washrooms if you're Canadian. So if you want to use the public restroom in Italy, you have to pay money because their main form of income is tourism. So you can't just use the toilet, you have to pay money for that. And it can be between 50 cents to $1.
€3.
€3?
It was €3 and like...
It was €1.50, wasn't it?
No,
In
it was
any case,
expensive.
Yeah, when you're going to the toilet a lot, as you do as a human, you have to pay every time and it adds up. You're literally pissing money away is the thing that I like to say. So I spent my time in Italy in a constant state of dehydration because I didn't want to use the public restrooms all the time. I would try to wait until we had kind of like a lunchtime or a dinner time because you can use the restrooms in cafes and restaurants. So I kind of tried to do that, but it does suck. If you are going to go to Italy, I'd say budget your toilet money. Weird as that sounds, but it's just part of life. It's a part of the expenses over there. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. It's dumb, but what are you gonna do? If you have to go, you have to go. The second thing is that water isn't free either. So if you're from New Zealand or Australia or some other places, I know South Africa as well, if you go to a cafe or restaurant, the water is actually free. It's actually part of, because I've got my duty manager's license. It's like being a responsible host. Your venue needs to provide water for your guests, your customers. But in Italy, that is not the case. If you want water, you have to buy it. So again, I was very dehydrated while I was in Italy. I love water. People who know me know that I love water. I always carry a water bottle around with me. I'm always drinking water. I always feel like I'm dehydrated. I'm not actually, but I just like to keep hydrated all the time. It was very hard to do that in Italy because of the toilet situation and the water not being free situation. So what we did is we've got like a Brita filter, but it was like in water bottles, so you can just fill up your water wherever you are and it filters it through the water bottle. I'd recommend doing something like that. Number 3, something that you should know is pushy Italians.
Italy has Italians, who would know? Who knew?
Yeah, surprise, Italy has Italians, and most Italians are quite pushy. When you are in Italy, you need to be
aware of that.
You need to be prepared, and you need to kind of put your jukes up and be pushy back if you have to, because what happened to us is we would be in line for things, and Italians would just push in front of us and get the stuff that they wanted and then leave, and we're just all standing there politely in the queue when there isn't really a queue. It's just Italians pushing you out of the way and getting your stuff, so that was fun.
It helped that they knew the language.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's something that we should probably comment on just quickly. We didn't learn any Italian before we went, but we managed.
Alright.
Yeah, we learned a few phrases here and there, but we managed. We were on a tour though, so it wasn't that hard to get around with just English.
Because we had an Italian doing it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4, something that you should know is there's this thing called a cover charge. People who go to clubs may know about cover charge. It's basically you have to pay to use the establishment. You have to pay to get in, kind of thing. If you do go to Italy, it's good that you ask before you go into a restaurant or a cafe if there is a cover charge, because they can charge you quite a bit for that, and other places may not charge you at all, so it's good to kind of shop around and make sure you're not getting ripped off.
Most places have it on their menu boards outside.
Yeah, but
some places don't, and then they're like, oh, there's a €3 cover charge
so you
for
go
a person.
you go to pay your bill, and then it's like, oh, there's €3 here for cover charge, and you're like, what? I don't know there was a cover charge.
This is news to us.
Yeah, which happened to us a few times. We were not very happy about it, but yeah, it happened. So it's good to just check that before you go in. The other thing that you need to be aware of is pickpockets. So we didn't have it happen to us, but you have to be careful because people do pickpocket you, and if you are just a naive tourist who's like, oh my gosh, like everything's great.
Look at all my money.
Look at all my money. Like no one's gonna ever steal from me. Like this is awesome. I'm from New Zealand. Like no one's gonna steal from me. Guess what?
We haven't offended anyone.
They're gonna steal from you because you're being an idiot. So don't be an idiot and keep your stuff away.
We had our money and stuff in like a neck
Yeah,
pouch
it was
thing
pouch under like your shirt.
that I had to carry around all day, every day.
It was very handy. No one on our tour got anything stolen, but I have heard stories of other people having stuff stolen. So like, you can't just leave your phone on the table and like look away because someone will come and like just swipe it. So it's just being smart. Don't be an idiot. Yeah. Okay. The last thing is, I guess for me, when I went to Italy, it was hard because a lot of the food and stuff, which was really good, it wasn't as authentic as I kind of wanted it to be. There's the same sort of like tourist dishes at every single restaurant that we went to. There's like the 4 cheese gnocchi, the pepperoni pizza, the spaghetti carbonara, you know, there's certain dishes that they all did. So it would have been cool if I could have gone out and found some more sort of out of the way restaurants and things. The ones like the touristy areas tend to be a trap. You kind of want to get away from those areas if you can. Not so far that you're going to get like, you know, abducted or pickpocketed or whatever, but you want to sort of go off the beaten track. You want to go to the places that are down an alleyway that most people don't get to go to. I would recommend trying to do something a bit different.
The trick with some restaurants, especially the ones in Rome, where we would walk past a restaurant, there'd be the dude outside like, hey, come to our restaurant and eat food, and fortunately that night we'd been like, oh, I've already had dinner, like, yeah. Sorry. Supposedly those places aren't too fantastic, and the only reason they can stay going is because they not force people to eat at their places, but like,
they're kind of like coaxing you to come inside. They make you feel like, hey, you should come inside, and people are like, oh, okay. That is true, yeah, because if the restaurant's good, they don't need the guy outside to bring people in, because people just come to the restaurant on their own volition, you know? That's a good tip there. And again, like I said, we went on a tour, so I would recommend going on a tour just because we went on a tour and we really enjoyed it.
They can be hit and miss though.
Yeah, I've read some really bad reviews.
Heard some horror stories, but...
Since we've been to Italy, I've read some reviews about people who went on the same tour as us at a different stage, and oh man, it sounded really, really bad, so... You can either have a really awesome tour or a really terrible tour. It's just kind of like the luck of the draw, really. So, yeah, I mean, do it or don't do it. It's up to you, really. But for us, I think it was good.
The fact that we went in spring as well and not middle of summer.
Don't go to Italy in summer. I think it's been reported that it was 40 degrees in Italy the other day. That sounds awful, but it does also get quite cold. So yeah, I think autumn or spring is the time to go. It was definitely cool to go. I would say like it's a cool place to visit, but it is good to be aware of these things that we've mentioned. I'm really glad that we got to go. It was really cool. I guess that's everything. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.